Hey, Reset Relationships. What's going on, bro? How you doing, man?
What's going on is I want to talk a little bit about the actual title of the show, but I was kind of trying to wait for you guys to finish up the last conversation y'all was having first.
Okay, yeah, yeah, you go ahead. Yeah, we go ahead.
So I'm under the belief that whether or not a woman is feminine or submissive in nature to you has a lot to do with you as a man and very little to do with her as a woman. And the reason that I say that is I hear all the excuses all the time of, black women didn't have their fathers around, or black women naturally have an attitude, or they naturally have an edge. And I think what people leave out of that is if you date other races of women and your masculinity is lacking, they're going to run over you the same way. They just do it in different forms. Like there's a lot of married white men, for example, who they live happy wife, happy life. So their entire life is dedicated to trying to make their woman happy. She bleeds him completely dry because he never stands up for himself. He never puts his foot down. She has his credit card. Even the daughter has a credit card. She's just like, put it on daddy's credit card, right? They bleed him completely dry. And then if he ever does get fed up or tired, then she just divorces him and take half. You see this in the Asian community as well. You see this sometimes in the Hispanic community as well. So to me, it's how you step in from jump. You shouldn't even get into a position, in my opinion. And obviously there's always an exception to the rule. So every now and then a woman might be able to trick you, right? Like she might do everything right, and then you have a baby with her, or you marry her, you change it, she changes up. But in my experience, from just listening to people talk and just listening to stuff people email me, even on my channel, most people miss clear red flags. Men and women, they miss clear red flags. Your
Mhm.
baby mama 9 out of 10 times gave you 101 signs that she was going to act up, and you chose to ignore it because she thick, or you chose to ignore it because she give good neck, or you chose to ignore it because she a baddie, and every time she walk in the room, everybody turn their heads. And so then when it catches up to you, when you have the baby or you get into the marriage, now you want to say, oh, I didn't see this coming. Now you want to say, oh, she wasn't submissive. When those signs was right there at the front of the door, and they should have been checked then. To me, again, it's not impossible, but most of the time, if you stepping in and leading with your masculinity first, you're not going to really have to deal too much with an unruly woman, a non-submissive woman, or a woman who's not listening to you. So to me, that falls back mainly on the men. Just like I
Well,
would say to the women, like, hey, if you got a deadbeat baby daddy, the signs were probably there before you got pregnant.
let me say this. So, let me start with what I agree with you with. Right, I agree with you that the signs, because I said that earlier, that there are signs, but I don't think it's for the reasons. It is some of the reasons that you said, right? But to add on to that, a lot of times what happens is the woman has a lot of attributes or qualities that we've always wanted, and then we'll ignore the ones that we can't live with. You see what I'm saying? So maybe
Mm,
she's good with children, right? And you've seen her around children, and she's great with children, and that's one of the things you want. Maybe she cleans up really, really good. Maybe she's a really clean, nice smelling, like clean woman, right? But maybe she's mean as hell, right? And so those things, we let those three things override the fact that she's mean as hell. We can't really deal with a woman that's mean as hell. So that's why I do agree with you, right? Now, what I said in the beginning, and I'm sure you missed it, and the reason why I don't agree with the whole premise of what you're saying is God is the best leader, and no one, there's mad people that don't follow God, and even the people who do claim to follow God do not follow God perfectly. Jesus was an excellent leader, and people betrayed Jesus and tried to stone him. We know the stories. I could go on and on and on and on and on to the break of dawn. The facts of the matter is that it's not necessarily a reflection of you as a man if that woman doesn't want to comply. The reason being is because she is a sentient being. She has autonomy over herself. She has the right to choose. And one of the most famous sayings that women say is, don't I have a right to change my mind? And the answer is yes. And but with that, anything that is subject to change usually will. So if she says she has a right to change her mind, more than likely she will change her mind at from time to time, depending on how she's feeling at that particular time in that particular dispensation of time. So with that being said, that's where the problem lies in. Most people are making decisions based on how they feel, and I say they make permanent decisions based on temporary situations, right? A lot of people make permanent decisions based on temporary situation or temporary feelings. And that's what the issue is. It's not so much of men not being men or not being good men or not being good leaders. No, it's that women are incentivized in this day and age to behave the way they want to because there's no real consequences to their action. And if a man tries to implement consequence, he will be the one that's punished. So at the end of the day, are all women bad? No, there are a lot of good women. At the same time, are a lot of women operating in independence and operating how they see fit? Yes.
So my question to that would be, when do you implement your discipline?
What do you mean by that?
So what I mean by that is,
BMU wave in the back because there's two BMUs.
What I mean by that is a lot of the times, right? Going back to what I said about a lot of the issues that men and women both have in relationships start at the beginning and they choose to ignore it, right? So the first sign of trouble, what I always say to men, at the very first sign of trouble, at the very first sign of something that you know you can't deal with, that needs to be checked right then. And it needs to be stated, this is not something I'm going to be able to deal with or tolerate right then. You can't ignore it. You can't let it linger. Because
so you're talking about setting the tone.
6-7 months, or you wait a year, or you wait until you're married, you wait until she's pregnant, or whatever you want to wait until, now you try to change the behavior. Now you're going to have a problem. Because that's when you're going to run into, oh, he's trying to change me, or now I'm not good enough, or you're going to run into all those other issues. You got to check disrespect. You got to check, even if it's not directly disrespect, it might just be something she's doing that annoys you, but you just can't deal with that particular issue, right? Say she's just bad with money. She might do everything else right, but her money's never right. She never has her money. You don't know what she's spending on. It's always gone. So you're like, this is something that's going to potentially be an issue. Yo, I need you to get your financial stability together, or at least let me know what's going on, or let me handle the budget, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? But you got to check that right then. But a lot of guys be like, oh, I got it. I got the money, right? So I'm not going to check it. Then you get married to her, right? You get her pregnant or something. Now she makes a mistake that's so big, you can't afford it. Now you want to go off on her about it. Now you're getting a divorce. Now you want to go off on her about it. Now she's playing with your kids. So that's what I mean when I say, when do you assign the disrespect? A lot of people don't check the disrespect at the door, because going back before with leading with the lust and all these other things that attracts you to a person, they're scared the person is going to leave. So they're like, all right, let me see if there's a way I can work with this. There shouldn't be no way you can work with this. As soon as somebody does something you know you can't deal with, you have to put that out right then, because then there's no point even going forward. I'm not even going to risk marrying you. I'm not even going to risk getting you pregnant, because you have this trait that I cannot deal with. If you're not willing to fix it, then there ain't no point in us going forward.
I mean, that's a great point, and that's a great way to move, and that's how men should move. Go ahead, Daryl. What say you, man? And then BMU, I'm gonna let you get in there after Daryl. Go ahead.
I won't be long, BMU. I just want to tell y'all that y'all bandits, and everything y'all saying,
all of y'all to the highest score,
top tier bandits. Everything y'all saying right now is rooted in the ego.
Oh man,
bondage.
And trust
That's
me,
what I said earlier.
Trust me, I'm a former bandit myself, right? So I definitely can relate, bro. But let me tell you this: for the most part, the older gentleman, he was almost right. It's just, when you talk about checking a woman, I'm not comfortable with that language. I think everything should be a conversation. Yeah,
that's what he said. Though. Wait, he did say a conversation, and he said if it doesn't fit you, then you should just move on. In essence, that's what he's saying. He's not saying checking her. He is saying that you let her know what you willing to deal with, what you're not willing to deal with, and if she doesn't want to operate in that way, then you just let her be. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, that's why overall I disagree with the message, just the language, because the language still is egotistical. Bro. I'm the man. I'm checking my wife.
Come on, man. Come on, dog. Daryl, you are trolling like crazy right now, yo.
No, I'm dead ass serious.
Oh my God, it's a lot of noise.
Even when she do stuff that I might not like, right? Let's say
someone got a lot of background noise. What's going on? What's that?
And that's Venus. Venus.
Venus, what you got going on, Venus? I don't know what that is. Go ahead, Daryl.
But I don't.
Somebody in a haunted house.
I think she's watching a movie. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question really,
I
really
don't
fast?
check my wife, right? I speak to my wife. I consult
Daryl,
my wife.
please
We have a
stop. Please stop.
conversation.
Daryl, I love you. Please stop, man. Because your family. This is not your situation is not the ideal for a man to be in. Please stop.
I knew y'all was gonna
Hold
get
on,
there.
hold on. You're torturing. Hold on, Chuck. You're torturing me right now because I'm trying to be as respectful as possible, and you trying to put your relationship up like it's a model relationship for niggas to be in, and it's not. It's not ideal. No nigga, I would not suggest no nigga to acquiesce to a woman ever. So this is like it's torture, man. And you doing too
But
much.
I
It's
don't
torturous.
acquiesce though, right?
Nah, but
Hold
you
up,
said no, but you
hold
said
up.
if you can't check your woman, if your woman does something that you don't like and you can't bring it to her attention and let her know that that's not the way that you need her to move. If you can't tell your woman what to do, then you can't tell
That's
your
not what I
woman what to
said.
do, and that's crazy.
That's not what I
That's
said. Y'all
crazy.
being
That's what she
emotional. Y'all
said
being
earlier.
emotional.
No,
No,
I'm keeping it real with you, Daryl. You know I
No,
love you. I'm
no,
being honest.
I didn't finish. Like I said, I never disagree with the message. I disagree with the language that it was spoken in. Again,
Man,
I don't
Lord.
check my wife. I have a conversation with my wife. I'm man enough to do that. Now I check one of you niggas, right? Because that's what I do
Oh
to
my
niggas.
God.
Now I have no problem pulling up and checking a nigga, but I'm softer with my wife, right? Baby, I don't gotta
Rightfully so.
check you, baby. You know what, baby? I don't like how you overcooked the eggs today. Can you run that back a little bit? I don't like how you made turkey bacon instead of regular bacon. That's a conversation,
That's
right?
checking her. I don't like
That's
the way you
not
made that
Thank
checking.
turkey
you.
steak. That's checking her.
Thank you.
That's
That's
not
Thank
G.
you.
checking.
You
Yes, it
G
is.
checked her. You just don't want to say it. You G checked the G.
I was just about to ask y'all, have y'all checked the nigga face to face
You
before?
G check nigga all the time, B.
Yeah, of
Absolutely.
course.
All the time.
So let
Absolutely.
me
All
ask
the
y'all
How
time.
this.
do we?
When you check a
Hold
Absolutely.
on.
nigga face
Hey,
to face,
all the
let me ask
time.
you that.
I'm a thug in real life, son. I'm gonna ask about me.
Shout out to
I'm a
Can I ask
thug in
two
Brownsville.
real
questions
life.
real
Shout out
quick?
to New York. So let me
I,
ask you this: when you check a
Absolutely,
nigga in
yo.
real life, is that the same? Is that the same setup when you checking your wife over eggs or fuck?
nah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Bro,
Come on, man. Hey,
Wait,
matter of
hold
fact,
on,
you
hold
gotta
on, hold
send
on.
me 10 cent now, man, because I don't like what you saying. I need that
You
10
got, hey, you
now.
man.
got,
Hold
So
on,
can I get this
real
out
quick.
real quick?
I gotta let BMU get in here real quick. Now I need that 10 cent for you say another
I got
word
you. I
because
got
that
you.
what you said is crazy.